Welcome to the DEVSTREAM. My apologies for being late. We've had significant technical issues tonight, ironically, none of which have anything to do with what I am announcing now. I'm afraid we're not going to have pretty pictures for you to look at because for whatever reason, my camera has actually, it's not that my camera's working fine. Streamlabs OBS has completely refused to recognize either the camera image or the window capture. So this is mildly annoying, except for the fact that it would actually make more sense for you to go to the site that I'm going to introduce to you and mess around with that while we're talking about this. So I'm very pleased to introduce to you the next stage in social media, SOCIALGALACTIC, the Planetary Communications Core. And this is the result of 3 years of hard work by the Infogalactic team, and this is the result of a cooperative development with Fediway, which has a really unique and very interesting vision for how the internet is going to take shape in the next 10 years. And so a lot of people had asked me back when we first started Infogalactic is why we started with a replacement for Wikipedia rather than a replacement for Twitter or for Facebook or something. And I've mentioned this several times before, and I actually mentioned it before we started doing any of this. Back in 2015, when I wrote SJWs Always Lie, I was specifically addressing the importance of protecting our history, the importance of protecting our past from the revision of the SJWs. And so that's why I felt that Infogalactic was the more important place to start. Also, there was a number of other alternative technical sites, alternative social media that were being created at a similar time. Gab being the obvious example. And obviously, I was involved in helping push Gab very early on. Andrew Torba had gotten in touch with Space Bunny on Twitter, asked her to make an introduction to me, and so we did that. And unfortunately, it turned out pretty rapidly that Andrew Torba's philosophy was not compatible not only with my own approach to things, but also to what would allow for the foundation of a genuine alternative to take shape. And so, anyhow, Gab went in exactly the direction that I assumed it would after Andrew Torba made it clear that he was not going to take any role in significantly moderating the content there. And I respect people that are, free speech extremists. It's a reasonable perspective. I don't agree with it. I'm not a free speech advocate. SOCIALGALACTIC is not going to be a free speech zone. But we learned from seeing what happened there. We learned from seeing how the trolls and the extremists and the social outcasts who had been kicked off of other social media platforms made it their own and took over. And just like Gresham's law applies to money, bad money drives out good money. And in the case of social media, bad users drive out good users. And so that's very, very important to understand, and that's part of our philosophy with regards to the site. So there's no need to keep reloading. If you'd shown up on time, then you would have known that I said that I'm having camera issues. All right. So if I don't turn my camera on, it's for a reason. Daniel Paul says Infogalactic serves the turn, an inherently Christian mission, or serves the truth. We hope so. That's the idea. That's what we want to do. Now, a couple things that I need to point out about Social Galactic early on. First of all, we're in beta. So there are going to be bugs, there are going to be issues, and so forth. Secondly, Daniel, you didn't have to correct it. I did figure it out, but thank you. Secondly, behave like an adult. Okay? If you're looking for a place to do spicy memes, to troll, to offend people, to shock people, to engage in bants, all that sort of thing, Social Galactic is not the place for you. You know, you've already got Gab. If you want to engage in that kind of behavior, go for it. At Social Galactic, we're not going to ban people for saying learn to code. We're not going to ban people for saying I'm proud to be French. We're not going to ban people for normal human interaction. No, not even spicy memes. We're not interested in that shit. Okay? Understand that we have watched what happened to these other sites, and we know that bad behavior is an attack vector that is used by people who are attempting to destroy the site. You know, frankly, it wouldn't shock me if the SJWs were running around pretending to be Nazis, pretending to be racists, and so forth, in an attempt to create problems. On a similar note, I have bad news for those of you who are in the European Union, which is that you're not going to be able to access Social Galactic for some time, because we need to figure out the best way to remain in compliance with the EU's data protection regulations. And right now, as you're probably familiar, there's a lot of sites that simply ban EU users because there is too much risk inherent in that law. Anaf Habib says, can Muslims join? We have good manners and etiquette. We don't have any religious restrictions on it, so certainly. There's a question, well, what's the spicy meat? We're not going to get into that game, okay? Don't even think about playing the game of how close to the line can I go. We're not looking to keep people out. We're not, like Twitter, attempting to ban anyone who might make a journalist feel bad. Yes, you can get it in Asia. Daniel Paul says, people comparing Social Galactic to Twitter are confusing a business model to deliver quality to the user with one that is designed to manipulate the narrative and collect your information for sale to China. Ruby Nibs asks about sneaky workarounds. That's not our issue. Our issue is that we will remain in compliance with all the relevant regulations. We're not interested in dank memes. We're not interested in spicy memes. We're interested in giving normal people who want to have a way to interact with other normal people to do so. And so, and because of that, also keep in mind, the site is set up very differently than Twitter. It's structured very differently than Twitter. A free account will have just enough image storage for a header and an avatar. So, free users are not going to be posting memes and that sort of thing because we don't want them to. It's an attack vector. If you want to engage in conventional Twitter style communication, you can do so for free. No problem. We have 3 levels of support. Now keep in mind, these levels of support refer to InfoGalactic. It's the InfoGalactic burn unit. The reason that it's rather expensive compared to what we're delivering here is because it's not really about Social Galactic at all. It's more of our way of saying, hey, we appreciate the burn unit. We appreciate the way that you guys have kept the InfoGalactic servers on and the way that you have made it possible for us to continue the development. And so we have 3 levels, bronze, silver, and gold. And bronze is $10 a month, silver is $25, gold is $50. They each come with extended character lengths. So the standard character length is for post is 140. Bronze gets to go to, I think, 200. Silver goes to 500 or 480, I can't remember which, and gold goes to $9.99. They also have increasing amounts of storage up to 500 megs for gold, I believe. Right now, we don't have a way to sign up for the burn unit. We actually did very briefly, but our credit card processor wants us to jump through some various hoops again. We weren't allowed to just use the same stuff that we used already for the Archaven store, and so we're going to get that going. It might be up in as soon as a week. I don't know. One step at a time. If you really want to join the burn unit right away, what you can do is you can do a one-time payment to payments@infogalactic.com via PayPal, and then email us with your site name, and we will manually give you the extended features that you want. Candlelight, we don't care in the slightest what you think about marketing. We are not trying to market to the masses. We are not trying to compete with Facebook. We're not trying to get 100 million people onto the site. It's not what we want to do. And so, Social Galactic doesn't just refer to InfoGalactic. It also refers to the Fedaway design system, which is going to be a cellular system which Social Galactic will attach to. So, Jester's got a good point. To those criticizing the name, this is not a drive to market this to the lowest common denominator. That's exactly correct. Is Social Galactic currently available for anyone? Yes. You can go to socialgalactic.com right now and you can sign up. You can sign up for it. Some of you might have some problems with the sign up screen. I would recommend that you do it on a computer with a normal browser when you're signing up. We do have the new mobile stuff active. And for those of you who are too slow to recognize that if it asks you to add one number to another, it's called addition. Literally, do the math. Anaf Habib says, great job on pursuing this project. It's about time folks pursue dialectic, rigor, proper etiquette, etc., rather than free speech, subversive silliness. Well, that's correct. And we're not going to permit SJWs on it. We'll make that very clear. No social justice. People want to play SJW thought police. They can go work for the Twitter Trust and Safety Council. We have no interest in accommodating them. We have no interest in accommodating their drama. We have no interest in putting up with their nonsense. So, Seneca the Younger has a brilliant idea. That would be funny if there was a gamma detecting algorithm programmed into the code to automatically ban them. That is something that would be amusing. It's interesting. Let's see, what do we have going so far here? At the moment, we have, keep in mind that this is literally day 2. It is already home to 857 accounts, and there are currently 364 people simultaneously online. So, what I would encourage you to do is to understand that we're not actively seeking a lot of feedback at the moment. The last thing that you should do is tell us what we should be doing. We didn't ask. We're not interested. We have a vision. We're delivering it. And if it's something that is in line with what interests you, that's great. Come along for the ride. But if it's not what you want, you know what? Talk to Fediway, and you can literally build your own and run it your own way. And, but what we want to do is we want to, look, we're not interested in playing tech support games, okay? If you've got funky browser stuff or you can't figure out how to sign up, we're not worried about that right now, okay? We'll get to that point eventually. This is in beta. There are 857 people who managed to sign up without any difficulty. So, it's not, just be patient. Also, if you're trying to sign up from Europe, you probably won't be able to. So, I forgot that you might have come on after I said something like that. No, we don't need anyone to stress test the site security yet. This is a federated system. It's not federated in the way that Mastodon is, but it is similar. If the addition check weeded anybody out, they weren't midwits. They didn't rise to that level. Yeah, and so, obviously, I'm in Europe myself. I am hoping that we can come up with a reasonable solution. Vox, you taking on coding volunteers for Social Galactic? I don't think we're taking them for Social Galactic. We do take them for Info Galactic. You can email info@infogalactic if you'd like to do that. We are bringing on people fairly rapidly. Artisan Saul said, I signed up with him in UK. Should I delete? There's no need to delete. You're not going to be able to access it very, very soon. But we're looking at the law and we're hoping that the UK, that we can open it up to the UK on March 29th. So, Dashing Rogue, don't ask me technical support questions. I'm even when I know the answer, I'm not interested in having these discussions with tech people. Okay, we're making a general announcement here. I don't have any interest whatsoever in getting into those kind of discussions. All right. The UK is leaving the EU and should be out on March 29th or so. Let's see what else is here. Ben Darling says, now I really want the bastards not to delay Article 50. No, it's not. It's fine, Dashing Rogue. I'm just trying to make it clear. I'm not here to offer tech support. I'm not here to discuss the technical details. That's not what I do. So, at some point in time, we will get people going. I'll bring some of the technical people on. We'll talk about this stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Are hashtags supported? Yes, of course. I think that what you'll see is that it's very robust. Considering that this is day 2 of the beta, I think that you'll see that it's extremely robust. I think that you'll see that, it's working on a Commodore 64. That's kind of awesome. It's got all kinds of features. It's actually got more features than Twitter does at the moment. There are verified accounts, but the verified accounts are only there for the original purpose, which is to verify public figures are actually who they are. No, it does not need a name that's catchier. We're not playing that game again. Look, for about the nth time, I don't pay any attention to people who tell me what I should do. If you want to do it differently, go do it yourself. So, for example, people like Milo and Space Bunny and Ivan Throne are all verified because they are sufficiently public figures that there are people who try to imitate them. If you are somebody who has, a random internet name, there's no need to verify that. It's not a status thing. Okay, we are going to add status things. We're going to add a lot of different banners. You'll notice that you can already see where the for those who are in the burn unit, you can see the bronze, the silver, and the gold badges. For those who are mods, you can see the shields. There are still some oddities, especially with regards to the placement of the posts on the notifications and stuff. We are going to plan to do an update about once a week. So just be patient. If you spot things that are not working the way that you think it should, then just either put in a post that is #bug or #request, and the developers will see that. Yes, John Delarose is indeed verified, and he's been actively attempting to manipulate the trending threads, which I find very amusing. I should say successfully attempting to manipulate the trending threads. Will Jordan Peterson be allowed to join? Certainly, if he wishes. He's not an SJW. He may be crazy, but he's not an SJW. Currently the pricing levels are for supporting Infogalactic. That's why it's called the burn unit. So it's not priced reasonably for just Social Galactic. We will have the ability to purchase the account upgrades directly for Social Galactic that are not tied to InfoGalactic. What the burn unit does is the burn unit pays to keep the lights on with the servers and pay for the development tools that we need, because the developers are all volunteers. But what you're supporting is more than just your social. You're not just buying your Social Galactic account, or you're not just upgrading your Social Galactic account. You're actually supporting the InfoGalactic mission. The bronze is 10 a month. The silver is 25. The gold is 50. Because we don't have those things set up yet, if you want to join, just get a one-time 1 month deal that will get you set up for. We can, you can do a PayPal payment to payments@infogalactic.com, and then email me and let me know what your Social Galactic name is, and we'll get you upgraded. It does not cost anything to make a free account. The burn unit is not down. It's just that our credit card company wants us to make some changes to the site before we open up the ability to purchase those things again. So, again, this is very, very early on. This is literally day 2 of the beta. Our day 1 of the beta went very well. We opened it up to the burn unit first. We had successful testing of around 250 concurrent, and now we're opening it up to the next level, which is the people who read my blog and the people who watch the dark stream. And so, we're not actively attempting to push massive membership yet. We're not even set up to accept the upgrades yet. And so I believe very firmly in taking one step at a time. I believe very firmly in taking each small step, making sure that we get it right, and then moving on. We don't want to try to get it all perfect. It's not necessary to recommend the site yet. We're not looking for people to push the site out yet. What we'd like people to use the site. Let's see. Yeah, we're not doing anything with Bitcoin at the moment. We'll look into it. There's no need to go to wire transfer stuff yet either. I mean, not for $10 or whatever. Keep in mind, you can just because you can't do image posting doesn't mean you can't do all the normal stuff. You can do all the posting, the replying, the liking, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, let's see. C-Speak says, I think it's awesome. Set up, header, and pick done in less than 5 minutes. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Brian Andrews says, what does gold membership do? Gold membership gives you 999 characters per post. It also gives you 500 megs of storage for image posting. And it also is going to give you, I think, up to 3 minutes of direct video. I don't think that that's going yet. So, will it be available in Europe at some point? Yes, we're looking to make sure that it is going to be available in Europe. We need to make sure that we are fully and totally in compliance with the, what's it called? The GDPR or whatever it's called. Yes, you can also share links to articles. You cannot post images from external sites beyond your 1 meg storage. Yeah, I am a little bit hoarse. Yeah, I have no idea what Twitter is now. We don't care. It's, the free accounts get the 140. We're not trying to compete with Twitter. Twitter is very much thought policed by the SJWs. If you want to be on a site where you can't even say learn to code, that's fine. It's not an issue. Let's see. No, it's not the credit card stuff is not a problem. It's a totally reasonable compliance issue. We have no problem with it. It's not going to be an issue. We just need to, follow the rules. And we were, frankly, a lot more focused on the technical side of stuff and just getting things working than we are on the idea that people were going to want to give us money for it. That was literally the last thing that we thought about. And it kind of caught us by surprise. Frankly, it caught them by surprise too. They're like, what on earth, what do all these people want? What's going on? And so, not surprised. If I'm currently wildly against social media and have no presence, I assume it's not going to be for me. No, it is not for you. Zowie Bear says, I signed up through my Android phone. Everything looks great. That's great because we just got the mobile on about 2 hours ago. So that's cool. John Yossarian says, it says out of 0 MB on my cloud thing. Is it because of the EU thing? No, it's because you probably have a free account and you used up your image storage. Again, this is very intentional on our part. We want people communicating. We want people talking, especially if they are, free account users. We want people able to do that for free. But image posting has been a very, very serious attack vector on sites like Facebook, on sites like Twitter, and on sites like Gab. There is a lot of incredibly illegal content that is posted on sites like Gab and other places, and we're not going to let that happen. We're much more likely to reduce or even eliminate the free image posting than we are to expand it. Because, like I said, it is a serious attack vector for people that want to discredit or destroy the site. And, we've seen that on Twitter. We've seen that on Facebook. We've seen that on Reddit. We've seen it on Gab. We're not going to let that happen here. Anaf Habib says, any short or long-term goals for this project? Well, the first thing that we'd like to do is we'd like to get it fully accessible in Europe. We'd like to get some new options. We've got all kinds of gamification stuff that we want to do. Is there a way to delete pictures and videos? I don't know. I'll have to ask. John Galt says free ought to be limited to text. Well, actually, we'd like to limit it just to text, but the way that it's set up, you need to have access to the images in order to have a avatar and header. And we want people to be able to have avatars and headers. If people abuse that, then yeah, we'll take it down to text and people will be allowed to choose from predefined headers and avatars. Is Social Galactic also available as an app on Android? No, and we don't plan to bother doing that. We already have it mobile ready. It's basically that mobile ready HTML5 stuff. Works very well. And frankly, what a lot of people don't realize is that most of the Twitter users don't use the Twitter app. They actually use the browser-based mobile aspect of it. I'll have to look up the exact. Oh, apparently you can delete the images in your cloud. Right-click on the image in your cloud, and then you can delete it. Will Alex Jones be invited? Sure. Alex is more than welcome to use it. I call thought police against SJW's The Welcoming Committee. Okay. I don't know that Google or Apple would yank a Social Galactic app, because we're not going to be the kind of horror show that Gab was. Do we know if Cernovich will join? I have no idea, but I will personally extend an invitation to him. We would certainly allow Laura Loomer. We would certainly allow Gavin McInnes. Milo is already on there. So anyhow, I'm very pleased that you're all so interested in this, and I also have some other good news that I'd like to share. And that is that Space Bunny took Mazee to the vet today to get him weighed, and he has gained nearly 10 pounds in a week. And so Slamrai Jamdown says, please make a Social Galactic Chan mascot, please. Anyhow, he's not out of the woods yet, but he's really doing very well. And he's doing much better. He's got a good appetite. He's actually trying to play with the other dogs. And he's, like I said, he's gained nearly 10 pounds. And so I really appreciate all the thoughts, all the prayers. And in fact, Space Bunny is there on Social Galactic, and she actually posted about that today. So it's already working. And the thing is that it may sound strange that we're that concerned about a dog and so forth, but honestly, he's just the nicest dog I've ever known. I mean, he's not my dog. He's Space Bunny's dog. My dog was a Vizsla, who I was extremely attached to. I'm not as attached to him as I was to my dog, but he's just so nice, and that's what made it easy to just say, you know what, we're going to do everything we can. We're absolutely going to do everything we can. Charles Carlson says, please give your dog a treat for me. If you had any idea what kind of treats that dog gets, you would understand that $5 wouldn't cut it. I mean, I appreciate it, but I shared this story before. On New Year's Eve, we had this special sort of Chinese fondue with, really, really good quality beef and horse meat. And I mean, it's fantastic stuff. And and you have to keep in mind that at this point, it's looking really, really bad. The dog is not eating anything. And I actually gave him just out of desperation more than anything, I actually offered him a piece, and much to everybody's surprise, he actually took a little piece of the horse meat, and we're like, awesome, he actually ate something. I mean, you need to keep in mind, he had at his peak, he had lost something like 10 kilos. I mean, it was really bad. You wouldn't want to see the pictures. And anyhow, I look over at the other end of the table, and Space Bunny is like shoveling this meat. And the dog's just happily like chowing it down. And I'm like, I look up at her in just total disbelief. I'm like, do you have any idea how much that cost? She gives me the death stare of all death stares and says, he can have my share. And I'm like, I just said, hey, put up my hand and said, okay, just if I'm happy he's eating. And my cousin turns to me and says, you should just be happy he doesn't want human flesh, or she'd be making us all stick out her arms and so she could chop off slices. So anyhow, I'm just happy he's doing better. And again, I appreciate all the support and all the well wishes. So anyhow, that's the good news, is that he's put on some good weight, and he's doing well. This is amusing. Oh, you always got the gammas. Social Galactic is not any different from Facebook. This will flop mainly because people care more about free speech. You know what? Don't sign up. We don't want you. We don't want people who believe in free speech. We don't want people who want to attack Christianity. That's not what we stand for. So, if you want free speech, go have fun on Gab. That's cool. So let's see, where are we doing here? Looks like a few of y'all have continued to sign up. Now up to nearly 950 accounts and nearly 400 currently online. So this is good. This is great. Anyhow, that's the assignment for tonight. The PayPal address is payments@infogalactic.com. So if you want to join the burn unit, you can do that, and just make sure that you email me both your username as well as whether you signed up for bronze, silver, or gold level. And we will make sure that you get your extended character limits and your badge and all that sort of stuff. The title of the book I recommended on the history of free speech is The History of the Freedom of Thought by J.B. Burry. Dr. Chuckles says, social media, LOL, you're creating a closed system. Yes, we are. We don't want people like you on it. I don't know if that's clear, but we don't want people like you on it. This is a system for people who want to engage normally with normal people. And this is also just the first step. We always take a iterative development process. We take an iterative process with our books, with our technology developments. Everything is always one step at a time. But check it out. I think that you'll see that it's remarkably sound. And if you have suggestions, then hashtag requests. Thanks very much for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you on Social Galactic. I'm Vox Day, and this is the DEVSTREAM.